In today's interconnected world, many students or many people have an ability to speak more than one languages. But have you ever wondered how they can acquire this additional language? So today, in this video, we're going to talk about it with me, Bintang Drajat Setiawan, with our topic today, second language acquisitions. So, what is second language? So, second language is basically when students learn a language after their home language or their first language or their mother tongue, whatever you want to say it. So, yeah, that's why it's called a second language. Fun fact, for people or individuals that already acquired a second language, they have a potentially to be more often using their second language more than they use their first language. Yeah, we don't know why, that is just a fact by survey. So, how do learners acquire a second language? So, second language acquisition is studies individuals and a group to learn a language that focusing on the process and an outcome. And why SLA is important is because it has a big and a significant impact on the language teaching and learning. And because many concepts, methods, and approaches has been developed based on this theory, based on SLA theories. So, not just that, SLA also draws upon various fields such as linguistics, psychology, social linguistics, and social psychologists. So, first we talk about the linguistic. So, linguist people focus on the differences and the similarities between languages. Meanwhile, the psychologist and psycholinguistic is more delved into cognitive process. Social linguistic is more explores variability in a learner linguistic performance. And the last one is social psychologist is investigate the social and interactional context of language learning. As a human, generally we have an ability to at least speak one language even without we learning it, that we call it our mother tongue. On the other hand, second language is learning serves a specific functions in our lives. So let's explore a different context which learners acquire a second language. So according to Seville Troiki, second language can be defined into several ways. Okay, the first one, second language, is typically an official or a dominant language required for education, employment, and essential purposes. And then second one, foreign language is one not widely used in a learner immediate social context. And also we have the library language is primarily used as a tool for further learning through reading. And auxiliary language is one that learner need to know for official function for wider communications. And finally, language for specific purposes serve for a restricted or a highly special functions. According to Speed Corder, input refers to the language available from the environment, and while intake is the language that actually become part of the learner's competencies. So over the years, there are various types of input that have been discussed, such as comprehensible input and modified input. So understanding the distinction between input and intake is a crucial second language learning. It allows us to analyze a learner how to interact with language and make a meaning from it. Interlanguage is a learner-independent language system separate from their first language and target second language. It shows the influence from both first language and their second language, involving a positive and negative transfer from both of them. Interlanguage development is an ongoing process as a learner refine their language skills through exposures and feedback. In 1970, Stephen Krashen introduced a distinction between learning and acquisitions. Okay, first we talk about learning. Learning refers to a conscious effort in acquiring a language rule through books and teachers. It involves receiving explicit information and in practicing those rules. Acquisition, on the other hand, involve internalizing a language through an exposure to input. It is an unconscious process that occurs naturally without explicit teaching and deliberate practice. So, understanding the distinctions between acquisitions and learning help us to recognize the role of exposures and natural language use in developing a language proficiency. In language learning, a mistake refers to an inaccurate statement that students can recognize and correct their mistake on their own. On the other hand, an error is an inaccurate statement that the student is unaware of or unsure how to correct it. So there's difference between both of them there. So we already finished talk about material or topic today. So comes up two questions, and the first question is why we should study a second language acquisitions. Because we study SLA to understand how individuals in a second language improve a language teaching methods, explore cognitive processes in a language learning, identify factors influencing language acquisitions, and gain insight into multilingualism. And the second question is what makes error and mistake in SLA is different. Okay, here is the difference between them. Yeah, the difference between an error and a mistake is that in SLA, a mistake is an inaccurate statement that learners can recognize and correct by their own, while an error is an inaccurate statement that learner are unaware or unsure how to correct their mistakes. And mistakes are quickly self-corrected, whereas errors require targeted interventions and guidance. So I think that's all from my video today. I hope that this video will be beneficial and informative for you guys. Thank you for watching and see you later.